Welcome, Sens Talk.
He bats it in! Tim Stutzer brings it through Ottawa! Triple Grant is going to put the finishing touches on an Ottawa win. See you later. Go Sens, go!
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I am your host. The Sens win 3-2 over the Dallas Stars. A massive victory as the Leevi Meriläinen sanity run continues. 4 out of 4 points on the back-to-back this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, as the Ottawa Senators, with games in hand, are just 1 point out of a playoff spot. That's right, your Ottawa Senators are right back in the mix. Leevi Meriläinen, take a bow. Everyone give him a round of applause. He should pat himself on the back as well. My goodness, what a run for him. The Leevi Meriläinen sanity run continues. In the last 2 games, of course, got a shutout yesterday against the Penguins. By the way, Travis Green, you absolute beauty. I love this decision to start him again today. And we'll talk about in the game notes what that means for Anton Forsberg. Certainly an interesting conversation. But Leevi Meriläinen, 63 out of the last 65 shots, stopped. Unbelievable. The next great Finn goaltender in the National Hockey League. Finland, just like Sweden and Russia, are goalie factories. So, I don't know. I think we have another great player here. Potentially a guy that's going to replace Anton Forsberg. But we'll talk about that and save that for the game notes. By the way, sorry for the handheld video. I was planning on a regular video for this one, but I am with family right now. Family comes before everything, of course. However, I love the Sens. Big Sens fan, if you couldn't tell, even though I'm wearing a Nordiques hat. I know that's a little weird, I know. Just love the hat, and I felt like wearing it. So I don't get to get chirped in the comments, but what can you do? But I had to make a video. So again, thanks for bearing with me. So let's get into today's recap. So this was a really interesting one, particularly because before this game, it was game number 41 before tonight. So Steve Staios, the Sens GM, did a midway point kind of press conference to kind of talk about where the Sens are at right now, and he kind of touted the fact that the Sens right now in their two-way game have really improved, particularly defensively. He also mentioned how he's not really looking actively to add depth to the crease or really anywhere, particularly when asked about, potentially bringing in another defenseman to help bolster the blue line because, again, JBD and Hamonic are out right now. Potentially one more guy's out and you're really thin there already, more so than you already are. I mean, it's already very thin. But he specifically touted the performance by Nicholas Mendenpalo as a reason why we don't really want to make a trade. That's, of course, what Steve Staios said, because he wants to see what they have internally. And I love that. We got to remember, Steve Staios has only been the GM for a couple of years, and last year was a bit of a wash. It was kind of a hectic entry into the Sens organization, of course. So this is kind of really the first time he's getting to see these prospects play in the National Hockey League for consistent minutes. And Nicholas Mendenpalo deserves the praise. He, the first goal today wasn't looking great, but overall has looked really good during his first real stint with the Ottawa Senators. That pairing with Tyler Clevin has looked very, very good. And I agree with Staios in this regard. You definitely got to give a guy like Mendenpalo more of a leash. You got guys like Gannett and Sabrango waiting in the wings as well. That could potentially be fill-ins for the blue line as well. Maybe they get some shots. They definitely deserve an opportunity. But Mendenpalo has looked great. He's also a veteran. He played in the Liga. He's played in the AHL. He's a long-term, pro veteran guy. He's not just some rookie guy. This is a guy with a lot of pro experience, and it shows in his game. So that was really interesting. And Staios also mentioned how he might look for a scoring winger, which I think we desperately need more than anything else. You can argue we need a backup. I think Levy's kind of taking care of that. But I really do think we need a scoring winger. He doesn't really think we do. He thinks we have some internal options that might fix things. However, he's not going to say, oh yeah, we're going to make a trade. We all know how this organization runs these days. They're very tight-lipped. So I think my impression is no defense, no goaltending will be brought in, but a forward might be potentially brought in. But we'll see what happens. He mentioned Amadio and Perron as kind of like acquisitions in their own right because they've been hurt. And they would be big adds as well. So, he seems pretty adamant on kind of staying the course and not doing anything right now. But again, trade deadline's there early March, so plenty of time for that to change. And frankly, I think it will, especially if we continue to be in the race. Now, going into this game, the Dallas Stars, again, they're 5th in the National Hockey League, a formidable opponent, have won 7 in a row. Interestingly enough, they actually played last night against the Habs, beat them in the shootout. So both teams are playing on a back-to-back situation, and both were just traveling last night. So no excuses for either team, especially, the Ottawa Senators who, they need these points. I know this is a tough team like the Dallas Stars, but you got to build off that momentum, and more so after, I was at that Sabres loss. After that loss, you need to perform much better in your next game. And let's just say going to this one, first period of play, 5 minutes in, did not look like that would be the case. Bad line change. You have Cousins and McEwen cut up the ice, and the Dallas Stars make you pay for it. Robertson puts it between the wickets of Leevi Meriläinen. Manapalo leaves him kind of in the slot hash mark or between the hash mark area. And the Dallas Stars early on strike first to make it 1-0 Dallas. To be honest, Ottawa was absolutely brutal in that first period of play. However, in the final few minutes, Ottawa would push. Kachuk and others had some really high danger opportunities. Ottawa would only put up 5 shots in that first period, 3 of which were high danger chances. So they were really starting to push, and it really shows as we go into the second period of play, and Ottawa dominated that second period. My goodness, they controlled the entirety of that second period of play, which honestly shows the character in that room, the respond after, a brutal first period, but also to build off of a good push at the end of that first period. They were shot out of a cannon in that second period. And again, the Dallas Stars are not an easy team. You can make all the excuses in the world that, if they would have rolled over and lost, it's a tough team, 7 in a row going to this one, similar situation with the back-to-back. They beat us just a week ago. They know how to beat us again, potentially. You can see all the excuses just kind of right out there. But the Sens are like, nah, hard over hype. And you see it there in the second. It's Drake Batherson getting things started the second period of play. A beautiful saucer pass as it's Josh Norris, the new home run goal, bats a pass to Smith to tie things up at 1 apiece. And kind of like a week and a half ago when Ottawa lost to Dallas, instead of losing, we're going to win this one, as you know. And in that loss, we scored like 2 goals within a minute. Well, we do it again 39 seconds later. Great drive to the net by Jake Sanderson, and behind the net, he feeds Timmy Stu back-to-back games with a goal for the German as Ottawa takes the lead for the first time in this one. It is 2-1 Senators after 40 minutes of play. And a really cool moment came out of that Tim Stützle goal. Credit where credit is due to Jake Sanderson. He created that play. Good awareness by Stützle to, kind of crash the net and get open for the shot when DeSmith was kind of sprawling in his net, in his crease. But a really cool moment before that, and shout out to Everyday Sens for clipping this. Alfie, Sens legend, was talking to Timmy Stu literally on the bench just before he went on the ice and scored a goal. So nice little moment there. That's always cool to see. As Ottawa goes into the third period, up by a goal, up by 1. It's 2-1. Ottawa is 16-1-1 this year, going to the third period of play with the lead. And let's just say the Ottawa Senators were determined to keep that record as it was, with only a couple of losses, because not even 30 seconds in to the third period of play, Shane Pinto, he's feeling it. Boy, oh boy, he's looked good the last few games. Great play to drive to the net. Nick Cousins there jamming away. And a great heads-up play by Matthew Highmore. Matthew Highmore, baby. Another B-Sens call-up and pressing. He crashes the net and gets rewarded his 13th career NHL goal, and first as an Ottawa Senator puts Ottawa up by 2. It's 3-1 Senators. Matthew Highmore, shout out to you, my friend. Beautiful goal there to crash the net, but a great play by Pinto and as well Cousins to really, jam that puck over there to Highmore, hit off the post, then right to Highmore. So good play all around, hardworking play, and the boys get rewarded for it. And Ottawa, after that, Dallas would get a power play midway through the third. But overall, Leevi Meriläinen took care of business as he always does. I mean, my goodness, I don't remember a time where I've watched a rookie in net and I felt so confident. He is that good, and he looks like a seasoned veteran, and he's only 22. He's younger than me. That's crazy. So he is so good, so calm, so collected. But unfortunately, the Dallas Stars would score a goal in the final minute of play. They make it a 1-goal game, which is why the Sens only won by 1, 3-2 the final. Dadonov scored in between the hash marks on a perfect example as to why the diamond formation is an issue on the Sens penalty kill. Even though the Sens penalty kill is 13 for 13 in their last 3 games, so maybe I sound like an idiot, to be honest with you. However, that late goal would end that streak as Ottawa, after 3 games, 13 for 14 on the penalty kill. Very respectable. However, the Dallas Stars did have another power play goal in this game. Similar goal in the slot. The diamond formation again got exposed on that one. Called back due to an offside. Good challenge by Travis Green on that one, by the way. So again, should I really say anything? I don't know. The special teams has looked great. I mean, got a shorthanded goal yesterday as well. So maybe I'm just kind of beating a dead horse. But again, you do see very, very similar goals, often penetrating through the Ottawa Sounder penalty kill. So that is something I noticed. I'm sure you noticed as well. But doesn't matter. Ottawa holds on for the 3-2 victory over the Dallas Stars. That's back-to-back victories. Ottawa now with games in hand on Columbus and Pittsburgh and, Boston and Tampa, all the teams ahead of us. We are only 1 point out of a playoff spot. Just 1 point out of a playoff spot with games in hand, and the boys are feeling it as well. Leevi Meriläinen has won, my goodness. Forsberg has won 4 out of his 14 starts this year, but Leevi Meriläinen in 4 starts has won 3, now 4 out of 5. So let's talk about this for a sec. What does this mean for Anton Forsberg and his future with the Ottawa Senators? I don't know. He's a veteran goaltender, definitely an NHL guy, but he's not been performing, and this is a results-based business. Leevi Meriläinen certainly has played fantastic and has played so well, in my opinion, he's earned definitely the conversation to be had anyways, that he is in that mix to be the backup for the rest of this year. I don't know how you could justify setting down Leevi Meriläinen once Ullmark returns. I certainly can't justify it, and if I can't, I don't see how they can, because again, Leevi Meriläinen in every single metric has been better than Anton Forsberg. I know he's played less games, but in the games he's played, he's been easily the better goaltender, and I think Anton Forsberg would even tell you that. So what they do moving forward will be very, very interesting. We've seen the Habs recently, in recent years, do a 3-goalie tandem. I don't know if they're necessarily going to do that. They could. They can also send Forsberg down, or they could send Leevi Meriläinen down. And again, more AHL play would never hurt him. He would be definitely getting more starts than he does here, especially if Ullmark returns. I think he's earned, frankly, a longer look, especially if Ullmark returns soon. Which, by the way, I don't know if he's going to return soon. Steve Staios today was asked about whether he would support Ullmark going to the Four Nations Cup, as a goaltender for Sweden, and he was pretty uncommitted to saying yes or no. He said, we'll just kind of cross that bridge once we get there. So that's kind of a little bit of a... it doesn't make me feel too good about whether Ullmark will be back soon or not. So we'll just see what happens with that. But regardless, again, let me know what you think in the comment section down below about that. That's a really, really interesting debate. But again, I really don't see how you can justify sending down Leevi Meriläinen, especially right now with how well he's playing and, frankly, keeping the Ottawa Senators afloat in what is suddenly an insanely tight and very competitive wild card race. But with that, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, I will see you all very, very soon for the next game, potentially a special interview. I'm working that right now, so hopefully you will have that in the next week or two. You'll know who it is once you see it. It's going to be really, really spicy. But with that, thank you all for watching as the Sens win back-to-back, 4 points out of 4 on the back-to-back on the weekend. That's a successful weekend, but let's keep it going, make it 3 in a row in the next one. We'll see what they do. I'll be there to break it down. With that, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all soon. Go Sens, go.